looks like we're on, at least I'm on, you're not on. So I thought today, since we have chairs available, and because it's coming into the holidays where everyone is either locked in the car, traveling by plane, or cooking, you know, for hordes of people, that we might just do, this is moving on the chair. It's mainly gyro inspired, though I'm not officially a gyrokinesis teacher, but I've studied it a lot and worked with teachers who are. But we'll be doing a lot of spinal movement, kind of really gentle, good stretching, good rotation, really work through our spines. And so you just want to start seated. Be sure you have enough room. Hey there. Be sure you have enough room to extend the arms and kind of move in all directions like this. And it's best to have a chair like these. We're lucky these chairs are padded, but people who are watching this, you can use a hard chair like a dining room chair, but I would recommend folding a towel or something under your butt. Just makes it more comfortable to do the rocking the pelvis forward and back. So we're going to begin with the legs apart and hands to your thighs or to your knees. And the spine is elevated here. You're sitting in your neutral position with a natural arch at your waist. And you hinge forward, leaning forward. Keep that plank spine as you lean forward to feel your back engage and the belly release. Gaze is down because your neck is in line with the rest of your spine. And then you press down with your feet and slightly away when you want to sit near the front of the chair. Not super fall off, but pretty near the front, because now we're going to lean back. And as you go back, you keep that plank and you feel the abdominal wall engage and the back of the body kind of melt away. And then we hinge forward here to moving right from your hip joints, leaning forward. And step back, leaning back here. So I feel that engage from my jaw all the way to my tailbone. And then as you go forward, so feel your back engage from your tail to the base of your skull. The feet get heavy as you go forward, then they get light as you go back, but not too light. We don't want to fall over backwards. So of course, we have backs on these chairs. When you do it with a stool, it's a different experience. And you go forward again. Breathing in, and then press away. So you can feel when you go back, this starts to open up your hips, because you're moving the pelvic girdle on the fingerheads, and then we're coming forward. And as you go into that deeper hip flexion, the pelvic floor expands. So think of your tail lifting, your sits bones spreading. And then as you go back, the pelvic floor narrows. Do one more like this, hinging forward here. And then leaning back. And from here, we hinge forward, hey there. And we're going to the right. Try to mirror as much as I can, and then go back. So we're going all the way back and then come through center again. So you just did like a semicircle around your right sits bone. And now we're doing a semicircle around your left one. You lean out, tip back. It's like your body's on top, spinning on its tail, and then you go forward to the midline again. Lean out, move your body in a straight line, head to tail. Circling back, come center, equal weight on the two glutes, and then come forward to the midline. And out we go to the left, around and back. And come forward to the middle again. If you're not sure of the movement, do a smaller range initially, and as your body warms up, you should be able to go a little bit larger. Or dive right in, depending on what you feel like your body wants to do. And can you feel how this is like loosening up your back as you go? Reach forward. We'll go one more time like this. Figure 8 out to the right. Circle back. We come through the midline. It's like you're closing the two circles. And then go around to your left. Circling back and around. We come center and pause. Now we reverse it. Okay, yeah, of course. So you go back and over to your left. Semicircle around the sits bone, come forward, lean back right to the midline, feel the hips open, and then over you go, tilt to your right. And around and forward, push off the floor to lean back. Go around, and you can feel the weight transfer, drawing that figure 8 around your sits bones here on this chair. But you could also imagine a light beam coming out to the top of your head through your halo and drawing a figure 8 on the ceiling above us. And do this semicircle around. Hey, Harley. Lean back here. And over we go again. By the way, I suspect this is pretty good for digestion. So I might think of it, Thursday evening, Friday afternoon, as we're digging into all the leftovers. For those of you who are watching this at a later time on Swarthmore's YouTube, we're right before Thanksgiving here. So happy holidays to all. And then we can come on back to center. Good, just kind of wiggle a little bit. And here, this is more like Pilates, a seated spine stretch. So we're going to open the knees, arms between the legs, and then look down your nose, tip your chin to your chest. I'll let the head go forward, keeping the shoulders back, stretch your neck, and then dive your head further out and down between your knees. So you work through the upper back, the mid back, the low back. Go as low as you're comfortable, and you can let the back of your hands rest on the ground, or reach your fingers to the floor, or dangle them in the air, depending on your flexibility right now. And just stay here. We'll do a couple of deep breaths. So take an inhale to feel the length of your spine as you fall forward into gravity. And then when you exhale, just sink a little deeper. Deep, slow breath. And really collapse. Like you don't want to be pressing down on your hands and pushing away. You want to fall forward. Let the weight of the arms and the head elongate the back of your body. Maybe curl the tail down and underneath into the chair seat. And one more breath. And then from here, you notice you got a lot closer just in that time. Bring your hands one at a time to your knees. Push through your feet, push down with your hands, and stack your spine like you're zipping it up a wall. Come up slowly. So looking at the floor, when you're vertical with the shoulders, bring your gaze across the floor and to the horizon. Here, lightly press down with your hands into your legs and lift up into a seated swan. An upper back extension, the heart rises, the eyes lift too. And then exhale back to center. We look down and dive over. Head, then neck, then the upper back. Curve your way over here. Fall into gravity, sink into it. You might want to take your knees and feet a little wider if you want a little more hip opening stretch there. Just let the shoulder blades fall to the ground. Don't try to pull them back. And now we're going over to your right leg. Wrap your arms around the leg. Hands can overlap on your foot. And you let your chest fall to the inside of the thigh. It's almost like you're hanging here from your armpit. It dangles towards the ground. And since you're going to the right, you're going to reach back and down through your left sits bone, your left glute, to feel that little diagonal stretch from the sacrum through the piriformis and the glute into the surface of the chair. And really let your legs support the weight of your body. Like collapse into it, fall into it, breathe into it. And then we'll slowly come back to center. Drop a little deeper, feel the difference in your two sides. And then we're going over to your left leg. Left arm to the outside, right arm to the inside. Your chest falls to the inside of the thigh. Sink low here, feel the support of your leg, and just collapse towards the ground. Ragdoll bodies. And you're looking diagonally under your chair. And of course, remember to breathe. Another deep breath in. Pay it out slowly. And then back to center. Fall forward. You're much further down than you were when you started, right? And then one hand at a time to the knees. Push down, curl the tail under, and slowly lift your back. Take your time, breathe through it. As you lift, feel the shoulder blades fall behind you, and you keep dropping to the ground. And we can go up with the heart, up with the eyes, upper back extension. And exhale back to center. Now here, we're going to be doing pelvic tuck and upper curl. So we'll start with your toes lifted, you're on your heels, hands on the knees. We're going to pull the knees in, lower the toes, and suck the waist back as the elbows go wide and forward. So you're in a C-curve spine, like rolling like a ball, right? So your shoulders are right over your hips. You're looking down into your navel. And then you push the knees open, lift your tail behind you, lift your eyes on your chest, there's extension here. And again, you want your shoulders over the pelvis. You don't want to be leaning forward. You want to be kind of balanced with the belly falling forward in a curve. And then we're going to pull the belly back into the spine. So now the curve is in the other direction as you pull your knees in, suck your waist back. The elbows coming forward and wider allows the blades to broaden on your back so you can pull the ribs back. And then open the knees and arch. Arch up, a little press down with the hands, can help you lift the chest a little higher and expand and open the front of your ribs. Exhale into flexion. Waist pulls back, release, pull it back to the back of the chair. Good. And then arch as you open. So one more, exhale to round your spine, inflection, looking down into your belly as it retreats back away from the knees, and then we arch. The pelvis is tilted forward here, an anterior tilt, and the chest goes up as you look up at the sky. We can come back to center, narrow the legs a bit, and just circle your waist like you have a fluid around it. Something I was never able to do as a child, but I guess there's still time to learn. This is my prep. When I'm 80, I think that's what I'm going to start a little bit. So your weight does shift from one sits bone to the other, and it's okay if one lifts. And then we're going to reverse, do some in the other direction. Just remember your body is mainly water. Right? If you're a whole series of water balloons stacked inside another balloon, everything would be sloshing and sliding around inside you. Maybe that's not the best image. Don't think of that image after your turkey dinner. And then we can come center. So now arms at your side. Doing some side bends here. So let's take your right hand, and as it dives to the ground, you turn your head, look at the shoulder, look at the hand, and bring the other hand up on the side rib cage. And you push the ribs out, opening them into your palm as you reach for the floor as much as you can. And then we're going to slowly close the side under your palm to come up, dragging the arm up, and then we look to the other shoulder, and that arm goes down. As it reaches for the ground, try to touch the floor, even though you can't, most likely. Right? You're going to push the ribs out in opposition and feel them spread wide like a fan. And then we pull up the side that open, now closes gradually to lift the body up to center, and then we go over to the side. Turn your head so you look down the shoulder to the fingertips, and you push your rib cage into your hand for that little shift, and then come up slowly. Do the other side. This one arm slides down, the other one rises, and you look down and reach. Keep reaching for the ground as you come up. That'll help you feel more work in your obliques on the opposite side of your body. Feel that? And here we go over again. We're going to change it a little bit. So once you're all the way over and you feel the palm supporting the open wrist, flex at the wrist, the bottom wrist, and then you imagine you're sliding the heel of the hand across the floor and to the wall, and then you push the wall away. You're like a traffic cop, like stop the traffic. It's away. And then you can bring it down. We can accommodate for our neighbors and then bring it on down. So with the flexed wrist, and then point the fingers to the floor. And now keep reaching for the floor as you draw yourself up. And we're going to the other side. So you reach down low. Lips open on the opposite side. Flex your wrist and sweep the hand out. Push the wall away. Look over your middle finger here. And your gaze stays on that middle fingertip as you bring the arm down. The wrist still flex and then point once the arm is vertical and keep reaching for the ground, lift. Do another set of these, going over and down. Flex and sweep it out. The arm moves underneath the scapula, you push it away and pull back at the same time. Right, so you want to feel that push-pull through your body opposition, and then bring the arm down. Fingers point to the floor and slowly come up. Go over again, diving down low. Look at your hand, flex at the wrist, reach out, press. Good, you feel the triceps tighten up as you reach out through the heel of your hand here. Slowly bring the arms down. Fingers point to the ground and we rise. Here, hands on your lap, palms up. And we curl the waist back. So you're in a C-curve spine again. Think rolling like a ball. Shoulders can be relaxed, the elbows forward and broad. And then imagine that this ball that you're holding starts to expand and the arms go out to the side. Fingers then point to the floor and then to the wall. Your gaze is going to lift with the height of the hands. And as the hands go up the wall, fingers point to the ceiling, look up, and the palms are now to the sky. You look up between your fingertips and spread the palms as wide open as you can, stretching your fingers apart. Then you push the air aside. Your gaze is going to lower at the height of the hands. And you lower the arms down the wall, you bend the elbows, you cup the palms in, and you suck your waist back. So you're sitting behind your sits bones in a pelvic tuck with that upper up curl, shoulders over hips, and we do it again. So you reach the arms out, fingers slide up the wall and to the ceiling, ballerina arms here, look up through your fingertips, and then push the air side, coming down and around. I know your body yawns open too. And then come all the way in, pulling the waist back and in. Even like push the floor without moving your feet, kind of push the floor away and you'll feel the belly retreat a little bit more. And then as you start to bring the arms forward, you can imagine the heels try to push the ground under your chair. As you come up and lift into your arch, tail high, heart high, eyes lift. And again, reach out. You're molding the air around you. Create the shape, embrace it in. And we'll do one more of these. Feel your scapula move on your back. And your spine moves from flexion into extension. Push the air apart, swim through the air. Come around, look down into your belly, embrace the air, gather it in. And then we're stacking the spine up as you bring your hands first onto your legs and then into prayer. I'm sure there's something we can all pray for. So inhale, let's lift the arms up to the ceiling. And then you explode the arms outward, palms flip wide and open, and you push the air down, circle out wide, start rounding your back, look into your belly, bring the hands together in prayer. And then I think of the hands going up like fireworks, and then explode outward, and then like fragments, balls, gently, slowly to the ground, look into your belly, hands together. And let's hope that our prayers go up into the heavens and then scatter all our best wishes all across the earth. Coming back in and do that again. Rising up, just breathe. Open and reach as far as you can go. Fingers open, feel the air between your fingertips and bring that hands back into prayer. Just like stay here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then hands down. We're going to lift your left arm up, all the way up to the ceiling, flex the wrist, and push the ceiling away. Look up at your hands. We're in a little bit of an arch, allow it. And then as the hand comes down, both hands to your knees, push the knees a little forward as you suck the waist back, opening up the front of the hip joint here. And then we rock forward towards extension as we bring the other arm up, lift and reach. You'll feel this in your lat. And then bring it on down. The waist retreats. You pull the knees away from the pelvis as you tuck the pelvis here. And then rock forward on the femurs as you bring the other arm up and stretch up high so that the ceiling here rests on your hands. You are the column, you are the support. And then bring it under. We look into ourselves, we curl the waist back, and then the other arm rises. As you straighten it, you see how the palms rotate in, fingers rotate in, and then as you bring it back down, it has to do with how the bones are formed at the elbow. You get that spiraling action here with the arm when you extend. And one more side, coming up, really stretch. You might feel a little bit of a side bend too. And then coming on down. Round your back, upper up curl, pelvic tuck, suck the waist back into the curve of your spine. And then we're reaching here, you rock forward of your sits bones to assist that extension. Eyes up high, and then bring it down slowly, like you're supporting the roof as you bring it down. Into your belly, and then come up to sitting, roll the shoulders, shake everything out. All right, now from here, we're going to pick up your right sits bone. I'm making it my left. But the way you'll do it is you want to think of lifting your heel, lifting your knee, and you're going to end up in a side bend in that direction. So you could slide your finger just under the glute here, under the sits bone. But after learning it, you don't have to do that. But now it's your right ear to your right shoulder, the right hip is elevated, and your body makes a C curve. Yeah, and then we're going to lower that down and do the other side. So you pick up the heel, you pick up the knee, you pick up the glute on that side, and you tip your ear to your shoulder. Now you're looking straight ahead. So we're trying to get a side bend in the neck here. Perfect. And then down you go with the hips, straighten momentarily, and then tip to the other side. So again, think ear to shoulder. The way we used to hold, remember the old-fashioned pose, right? And then you would pull the shoulder out, which we don't want to do. And then come back and to the other side. Now as you tip your ear to the shoulder, the opposite arm, think of it getting heavier, and that will help you feel that stretch in your neck, right? So if your head is tipped over to your left, you want to let that right shoulder be heavy, maybe bend the elbow and let it hang. And then coming back to the other side. So one of the reasons we do this is to loosen up the two pelvic halves and the joints around your sacrum, the SI joints. And that makes your walk smoother, makes your low back feel better. So one more set. So your gaze is still forward, your eyes can be closed if you want to feel it that way. Or open. And then down one more to the other side. Anyone else feel a stretch in their neck? Oh yeah. Then come back to center. Take a breath. We're going to slide over so that your right glute is hanging off, the left glute is supporting on the chair. The other hand holds this side, right? And now what we're doing here is you're taking it's your right, if you're mirroring me, you're going to go down with the hip and tilt the head away. So this gives you a big stretch from like the base of your rib cage down to the sits bone, and then we come upright. You lift the sits bone so that the two glutes are level. Like you have another chair under the side of your butt, and then you're going to bring the hip down and tip the head away. And lift, come up again. Because often when we do side bends, it's really focused on like the upper body, the rib cage, the waist. Here we're really insisting that we get the stretch in the neck as well as in that lower part from the rib cage down. And pull it up. And one more time here. Pitches over, opposite from the hip drop. That way. Yeah. and then bring it up to center. Now we're going to add some with the arm, adding into our side bend. So the arm rises as the hip lowers. You don't have to go to your biggest range, like you can sneak up on it gradually, and then pull yourself vertical as you lift the hip. We do that again. This looks so beautiful. Take it over, drop down. Pull it up here, arm sinks as the hip rises. Let's do one more. It tilts over to the side, feel the weight of your head, stretching your body into the side bend stretch. And pull it all the way up. Here's the payoff, we go back to center. And just feel the difference in the two sides of your body. I love the length you feel like here, both front and back. Even though you're thinking about this being an exercise for the side of the body, you just really feel that length. And this opens and lengthens your psoas, your main hip flexor too. So now we're going over to the other side. Just don't fall off the chair. But of course, this is great for the pelvic floor too, because you're stretching the two halves. So, and then also engaging them as you come up. So we want your pelvic floor, we want the ability to have it be flexible and then also be strong. So you're dropping the hip down, tilt the head away. Whole body parallel to the wall in front of you. And then we lift to come up. Lifting the hip, bringing the head high to the ceiling. And over we go again. Remember, you can drop the arm away from your head, drop that shoulder, to get a gentle stretch here in your neck, and then we lift to come up. Let's do that again. And then rise. One more time with this. Over, strong with stretches, lift to pull up, and now we add the arm. So the arm scoops the air, we dive over as the hip lowers, pull the hip up as the arm descends. So you ever just watch it hit the table. There. Back upright, and one more like this. Scoop the air. Feel that length in your side, come all the way back, and then we come back to center. Take a moment to observe and notice what you feel. Good. Next, we're doing some rotation. So you can take your left hand to your right thigh. Your right hand goes behind you on the chair seat. And then we twist and look behind. Now we're going to do 4 pulses. So pulse and twist. 1 and release. 2 and release. 3, backward to center, and 4. And then to the other side, spiral around. And we twist and look back. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, don't force it. We're going to stay right on your axis and see where you go. Now, as you twist here, your gaze should go back and around and let the eyes curve downhill in a gentle arc as you do this. And that should help you release some of the muscles here at the base of the skull, the suboccipitals. They are really following what the eyes do. And then we did some extra ones there. Now there's the other side. And twist here. I didn't want to forget to tell you about our suboccipitals. I can't say it. Suboccipitals. And then back to center, one more set. So turn to twist equals 1. Release it. 2. And release. 3. Easy shoulders. And 4. Spiral back through center to the other side. And right on your central axis as you rotate. 2. 3. And 4. Center. That's great. Here, I want to throw in a stretch for our necks. So for For this one, this is for the sternocleidomastoid, so it's a big, strong muscle. And it goes sort of from right behind the ear, the mastoid process here, down to the sternum and down to part of the collarbone. But you'll feel it in the back of your body too as we do this. So first you're going to bring your right ear to your right shoulder. And then you want to really drop the arm away from the head. And you might even like pull the arm down just to get a gentle stretch. Now sometimes it's taught where you actually pull your head, but I typically don't do that because the neck muscles are pretty, even though they're big like this one is, they can be pretty fragile. And if you pull them, you can get into more than you asked for, right? So we want to kind of just like gravity take the head and stretch the neck in a more gentle way. But you can reach for the floor with the other arm. And then after it's been here in the side bend, the next part is that you keep it in the angle that it's at and you rotate to look at your shoulder. And see how that changed the stretch to the back of the neck and the back of the shoulder here. Just breathe. Think of that exhale allowing you to relax into the stretch. And then you still keep this angle, right? And you'll tuck your chin in towards the base of your throat to force it. And here you can feel that stretch sort of from that little bony promontory behind the ear down and behind you. And then you bring your gaze up and slowly center. Just rest on your lap. Feel the difference already? Yeah. And again, other side. So side bend your neck, tipping your ear to the shoulder. Let the opposite arm fall and hang. Maybe give it a little pull, or you can imagine holding a 10-pound weight in that hand. I feel like particularly for the neck, I like to give it some time to like stretch open more gradually, because you don't want just the muscles to stretch, you want the connective tissue to start to really curl and become more open for us. And then we'll turn the head to look at the shoulder. And then after a couple of breaths, you can tuck your chin in towards the base of your throat, towards the top of the sternum. And see where you feel that pull and where it's starting to stretch open. Possibly thinking with every exhale that that right shoulder drops on the left one. Your gaze comes up slowly, you can rest those hands on your legs, and then come up. Isn't that crazy? It feels like so light. We're going to do one more set to help you remember it. So again, side bend, ear to shoulder. The other arm gets dropped down, nice and easy, nice and heavy. Reach for the ground. And then you can turn your gaze to look down at your shoulder. And then tuck your chin slowly in towards your chest, in towards the base of your throat. Coming up slowly, and then unwinding. One more to the other side. Shoulder drops down. We're just letting the weight of the arm and the weight of the shoulder stretch this line out. And then turn to look at your shoulder. And then as you lower your chin towards the base of your throat, the eyes over too. slowly bring your knees up and settle. Roll your shoulders a few times. Bounce them up and down, together or separately. All right, beautiful. Feel better? Right. So next, we'll do a pure form of stretch. So you have a choice. You can either keep the knees bent or extend one leg forward. So the tighter you are in the stretch, you probably want to lower the knee. If you're really pretty open, keep the knee bent. This side, I'm more open, so we keep the knee bent. But just pull the knee into your chest first. And then you rotate the thigh externally to bring the foot up. Maybe flex the foot here. But like my other leg, I'm totally going to be here. I might even be here for this one. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm so
No, that's
embarrassed.
okay. I'm just like, and then you go further out to the side. That's good. Right there. And you can like hold the shin to hold it in position. And then you sit upright here on your sits bones. And then you want to lean forward. Or not. Like if you're already in a good stretch, just stay where that was. And you lean in, and you can use the forearm here to go not on the knee itself, but across the angle below the knee to push that knee open. Try to elongate the spine, and what you don't want to do is tip over with your weight in the direction of the knee, because then you're cheating it, right? So you want to stay with even at least equal weight in the two glutes, but maybe even possibly more weight in the one that you're trying to drop away from. Just subtle. Because the tendency is going to be to tip the body to get the leg down further, and that's counterproductive. Which is why I like to do this stretch on the chair, because you can be honest about it as opposed to laying on the mat and doing this stretch. Well, actually, I prefer to cheat it, but it's not as helpful for my body, right? And then we're coming back up. Carefully unwind, because the thing you have to be careful about here is your knee. So you want to rotate the whole leg as a unit, and then lower the foot down. I know, and it's like, oh, hate that exercise, even though I know I need it, right? But it does feel much better, right? You can feel how that loosened up the glute. So here we go on the other side. So you can pull the knee in, externally rotate the leg out to the side. Often we're told to flex the foot, and you want the edge of the foot on the other thigh. And then you can try pulling it in, lift up, try to get both sits bones grounded. If you feel any twinges in the knee, we want to do a different version, right? Or try to settle in a way that you're not feeling the knee in a precarious position. So once you're vertical, you hinge forward, tilting the pelvis, lift the tail, lift the sits bones, and you can push the knee down a little bit with the weight of your arm. But again, I said the knee, but it's actually the long bones here of the leg, the thigh, and then the lower leg. To feel a little bit more opening here at the hip, and we're stretched diagonally into the glute. And then we lift the torso, unwind the leg, and release it carefully here. Okay. So now we're going to stretch out the back a little bit, and then also work into some hamstring lengthening. So here you're sitting pretty near the front again. Just check in case you slip back. And let's start. I'm going to take off my sneakers because we'll be grabbing the foot with the hand at some point. So we'll start, let's pull, yeah. Floor's a little cold, that's why I kept it on initially. All right. So we're going to pull your right knee into your chest and brace it in. And round the waist back, look down, chin to chest, look down at your navel. And you want to hold this maybe a little lower so you can drop your shoulders when you're doing this, because they'll want to go up. but we don't need the shoulder earmuffs right here. So pull it in. Eventually, you'd like to be able to think about your heel coming as close as possible to your sits bone and the knee as close as possible into your chest. And then from here, you're going to lower the foot down, hands on the thighs, and arch the back. Lift the tail, lift the chest, lift the eyes. And then we suck the waist back, round spine, pull the other knee in, embrace it in. And you look down your midline here, nose, sternum, navel, hang the head low, shoulders drop. And then lower the foot and arch the spine here. And then we pull back. Who's waving at the tour group? So we pull the waist back. Come on in, embrace here. Down, let your head hang and stretch your neck. And then the foot goes down and you arch the spine. Look up, heart lifts, shoulders melt down behind you. And then you pull back again, rounding your back. It's almost like doing half of a child's pose, right? So particularly if you know people that can't get up and down off the floor, this would be a nice option for them. And now from here, arch. I promised you hamstring stretches, here they come. So pull the waist back, pull your knee into your body. Now here, you'll take your left hand to the outside of your right foot, your right hand behind you on the chair or to the side, and then you extend the leg up, stretch. Access your inner rocket. Pretty well buried, right? And then pull this in, embrace it in, toes hang soft, and then release the leg down and arch. And then you can pull the waist back, other leg. See, that felt good, right? Then hands low, hand to the outside of the foot, other hand to the chair, reach up, extend, and if it won't straighten, don't worry, keep the knee bent. As long as you still feel the stretch of the hamstring here, the belly of the muscle, that's the cats. And then pull the knee in, embrace, look down, and lower, and arch. Equal weight on the two sits bones, the two glutes. Pull your waist back again, pull the knee in. Again, hand to the outside of the foot, hand behind you or to the side on the chair. And you start getting a little bit of rotation. Like, can you feel that pull underneath like your shoulder blade here? And then pull it back. Hug it down. And lower and arch. Swing the tail up the wall behind you as you lift your eyes to the sky. And then you go back into your C-curve spine as you pull the leg in. Hand to the foot. Extend the leg. And then pull it in. Embrace here, head down. And lower the foot. And then arch. Now we're adding the free arm going back. So we pull the knee in, get tight, hand to foot. As that extends, the other arm reaches behind you, look back at that hand, and open your chest. And then we pull the arm forward to embrace the leg as we pull the heel in towards our butt. And lower and arch. Feet pulls in. Give it a little hug. Hand to foot, other arm freely reaches back behind you. Rotation through your waistline, spiral here. Little back. Look down, the knee by your cheekbone, and then lower the foot, arch your spine. One more set of those. Sit.
Cathy, when we reach back,
Yeah.
is our chest still, or surrounded you, our chest to go forward?
Oh, you're thinking actually of the rotating it.
Okay, open, so you're not worried about lifting up.
But what? So
I'm here. I don't want to be thinking about this.
well, you want to be on your
Open.
axis.
You want to be open?
You want to be open.
Okay.
You don't really want to be a slut. That's what, right. So here,
Trying to find that.
yeah, but you may have to get the leg up. You might have a little bit of a tuck, just see what kind of works for you. We're trying to get movement here, and it's going to look different on every single person's body. That's what I could say. All right. So did you guys do one on each side while we were doing that?
I think left
No,
side.
I need to do the other side. That's okay. I'm like, wait, what do I
I
have
was
to do?
I was aware, I was like, I couldn't tell if I was crunching,
Yeah.
like
Does that feel better?
collapsing was the word.
Yeah. And then pull it in and lower. Shoes back on for me. Okay, so now we're doing some waves. I think I'm going to turn this to the side so you can see my slide. Is that helpful? Can you see it? Yeah. Yeah. That's a good for you. Are you all okay? All right. So we're going to start in an arch back, looking up, knees open wide, and then you hinge from the hip, lifting the tail behind you, keep the arches as long as you can. But as you go down, the spine will go into a neutral spine and then into flexion as you drop your head and look under the chair. Now you're going to push into the ground and roll back in flexion. And then you're back, and then you pull the belly forward, the chest forward, the chin forward, and you arch as you're hinging forward like so. And then the body gradually flattens, you drop your head, you curl the tail under, roll back, flexing your spine. And then lay it back and move through neutral into an arch. Move forward in the arch again. Pull back with the elbows, pull back with the heels as you arch forward. Let the head fall, and then like almost push the floor away without moving your feet as you go back into flexion. We'll do one more like this. Belly spills forward, chest up, eyes up, hinge forward here. Go down low. Head, and then roll back in flexion. Come back and come up, do your arch, and then reverse. Chin to chest, suck the waist back, elbows forward, and then dive forward in flexion. It curves down, the spine flows. And then you bring your gaze forward across the floor, up the wall, arch the back as you lift. Lean back still in the arch, and then you tuck when you need to, suck the waist back around the spine and dive forward. Going down low. Very snaky spine, right? You're gonna come on up. You want to really be able to move all the vertebrae. Looking down, curl the tail up and dive forward here. Rounding your head, dropping down low. Scoop the air up with the gaze at the back of your head. Open up your hips as you arch back, and then tuck when you need to. Look down, pull the waist back, and we dive forward in flexion again. Low. Gaze moves forward, chest moves forward, following the gaze. Heart rises too. We lean back, moving at the head, and then tuck, sucking the belly back into your spinal curve. The arms can slide, the elbows can move. Just focus on the spinal movement and let your shoulder girdle kind of deal with it. Come up. And one more time. Want this to feel really fluid. Very smooth. Okay. Liked it? Okay. Now we're doing the same thing on a diagonal. So, it's like checking you liked it.
Just when I thought it was dizzy.
Oh yeah, if you're dizzy, please stop. One of the things that might help though is like going, when you're moving like this, try to go point to point instead of letting your gaze like slide, right? Because you don't want the lighthouse, well you do want the lighthouse beacon, you want it to flash, like catch the spot. So try that or else just stop. All right, so we're going over to your right, go to my left. And you'll arch and then hinge forward, being sternum over the knee. drop your head, curl back in flexion, push the ground away on the diagonal and lean away from it. The hands will slide up your thigh, and then we arch forward on the diagonal. Hang the head low, drop the head, curl back in flexion, slide back and forth along the leg, and we arch to move forward. Head hangs, let's go back. And then we pause and reverse. Chin to chest, leg forward, forehead to the thigh. Get your nose out past the knee. Up, lifting an extension, and reach back an extension, and then tuck and roll. See how good this feels to open up your hip on this diagonal line? Way back here, tuck and roll forward. All the way forward and lift. And come back to center. Did I only do extension or did I do the
both?
Okay, good. I thought I did, and then I wasn't sure. But my morning started out, the contractors arrived, and then I was like, oh, I have to go at 7:30. I gotta get to work. Totally forgetting that my first appointment was Zoom from home at 7:30. I get in my car, I drive, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm supposed to be at home doing this, right? Because I don't have time. I was gonna be late for my appointment if I continued driving, so I had to go back, run into the house. I turned my phone on and I'm like, Kelly, hey, good morning. Guess what? I totally screwed up. Here's a view of my complex. This is my courtyard, et cetera, et cetera. Meet the contractors. So, oh my God. She was great. We were both laughing at the end, luckily. But arch forward and over. So I forgot of worse things today than that. And then arch over, holiday brain. Take it over, drop your head down, go back here. And arch again. Back. And then we reverse. So look down, chin to chest, leg down. Scoop the air up with the back of your skull, lean back in the arch, tuck on the diagonal, and roll forward again. Hold the leg into the socket as you arch forward and up, lean back, tuck, and forward again. Up, lean back again, and then last one, forward and lift, and then center. Okay. So from here, just dive down over your legs, over the knees or keep them tight, whichever you prefer. Just want to center the spine here after the asymmetrical work. And then hinge your knees, push down and come up. We're going to end with a little calf stretch. So we can come on up and take the chair sideways. And then you're leaning over, which is nice and soft, right? And let's take your right foot back. Get the heel grounded, both feet point forward and parallel. You bend your front knee in and feel the stretch in the calf on the back leg. Yeah. And then from here, just swing your tail a little bit side to side, like wag your tail like a happy but old dog. And you feel the stretch go from one side of the calf to the other. And then once you center, you keep the heel down in order to get the stretch, but you bend your right knee slightly and then straighten it. So the stretch goes up and down the calf, like you soleus into the gastroc and back again. It's also really good to help flexion at the ankle. And then we can switch the legs. Leg goes down first, and then adjust the other leg to where you want that knee to be bent. And just breathe into the stretch. Try to have equal weight across the heel and the back, particularly. And then we swing the tail forward and back a little bit. I saw that. That was a puppy's tail.
Yeah. I didn't want to be an old dog.
No, no one does. And then center. Recommit to the heel down on the mat and then bend that back knee and straighten the leg. Feel the stretch go up and down your calf. Okay. And then you can step forward and stick your tail, stack your spine coming up. We're good for today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this.